Welcome to Single Tree Nation. I'm your man, Charlie Eblin, the host and owner of Single Tree Woodfire Barbecue. We are here to build community through undeniable hospitality, storytelling, and the perfect plate of barbecue. Welcome back to Single Tree Nation, guys. I'm your man, Charlie. As always, our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells, is joining us today.
What is up, everybody?
We have a special show. It hasn't been me and Derry in a while, so we thought we would just take it back and rock and roll on some very spectacular topics today. And we have talked all kinds of fun things before we hit record today. So
I feel like this is what tailgating is for people that don't know what tailgating is. Like you get in. We got like a pre-show, right? We break the ice. How's your day? How's my day? How's Trent's day? You know, has he still got shoes on? You know, that kind of thing. So,
has the DoorDash showed up yet? No little people running around.
No,
we're okay.
Oh gosh,
he's not wearing a hat yet, so we're okay.
And so then you get into the real main event, right? And it's like, all right, here we go. Tailgating's over. Here we are. So anyway, speaking of tailgating, local sips. It's been a while since it has been just me and you.
It has.
So
it has. I like it.
Anyhow, local sips.
What we got?
This one's going to stretch my palate. I'm not an IPA fan, but Tennessee Brew Works. I love the name Hippies and Cowboys. So
I've had a few of their beers. I don't think I've ever had their Hippie and Cowboys before. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I think that the can is epic.
The can makes it.
You know.
I tell you who else has great can artistry is Common John out of Manchester.
Yeah.
Their can artistry is
pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
pretty good. So we're cracking into this little IPA you got here? Because you're not an IPA guy either.
I'm not.
Right?
I'm not. So
this is a true test for IPA. Because my wife would love this. I don't even have to.
I got friends that would be all over this.
I don't even have to drink it.
Yeah.
To tell that she would get down for sure.
It smells a little citrusy.
But, hey, cheers.
Cheers, man.
You know, happy holidays.
Happy holidays. They are here. That is not bad.
It's got a little hop to it, but
a little hop and a little citrus.
The citrus kind of knocks some of that down for me.
I'd rock with that.
So I'm good.
For IPAs that I usually wouldn't do, that one's not bad.
It's nice and cold.
It should be. It's been refrigerated. So
that's typically how we get
that is cold. I've heard. It's a modern convenience. So
you don't have to stick it in the ground anymore.
No,
you know,
no,
that's good though. Yeah, not too bad. Tennessee
it is
Brew
hoppy,
Works.
but it's good. So I'd rock with that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to drink it.
The can work, the artistry on the can is fantastic.
I do love the can.
Yeah, I dig that.
Yeah,
I like that they're using guitar picks.
It reminds me, like, think about Kerry Bringle in his 20s.
Dude, that's exactly kind of what that looks like. Rose-colored glasses and everything.
Right,
just kind of,
Hold it up.
There you go.
Yeah, look, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Yeah. He'll kill me for saying that, but
too much FaceTime.
We still love you.
There you go. Yeah, he's doing some hot things out there. So, or at least his social media page is hot. So
yeah, he's rock and rolling.
Yep.
Good for him.
He's got all
I'm
his
happy for him.
His bourbon
he's
stuff
killing
is rocking big time.
Yeah,
they finally got the tasting room open.
Yeah, so yeah, we need to make a trip.
We should make a field trip.
Yeah,
well, sightseeing.
We have a few sites we have to go to. I think we need to in the spring. We need to make like we need to do like a road show.
That'd be fun.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like go to like a revisit of some of these people. Like, you know, when you go to Tunji's place over there in Nolensville, we got to go to Carrie's place in the tasting room.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I mean, I think that would be really cool to like just do a road show and just like not even tell anybody. Like we just get like
walk in with gear.
Yeah, we just get me, you, and Trent. We just set up in the corner and just like, hey, we're here to record.
They're gonna bet, what do y'all do? Come on out. There's an open seat at the table. Somebody pop down. We'll talk.
Yeah.
So that'd be a lot of fun.
Or not even. We don't even have to have anybody sit down with us. Like we just order food and drinks and just have a good time.
Make a show of it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm in. I'm 100% in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go on the road every now and then? Thumbs up. He's in.
Terry's,
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We had to come up with a fancy name for it, though.
We can't do single tree on the road?
I guess so. Yeah. All right. Cheers.
There you go. That was challenging.
Yeah, fancy name. Good job.
All right. Today I was prepping for holiday meals.
STP on the road.
STP on the road. See?
Yeah.
STP? What's the P?
Single Tree Podcast.
Okay. I thought it was Single Tree Nation. I always put STN.
All right.
So.
Well, he spread the positive.
Yeah,
so
see that? Yeah.
there you
So
go.
it is still
There.
STP on the road. There you go.
STP on the road. With STN.
STP and STN joins you. Look, he's got that little specialty cup going back there again. So, he said,
Don't worry about what I'm doing. It's outstanding.
It is the holidays. And speaking of the holidays, I started the cornbread for the dressing.
Okay.
And that got me to thinking about cookware. And
Cookware? Okay.
Pots and pans.
I got you.
I was trying to be,
You're being fancy over here.
talking to a restaurateur, trying to use the proper words. So
Pots and pans.
it's pots and pans,
Yeah,
all right?
I got you.
When I'm young, dumb, and broke, you
Okay.
buy. I'm barely out of those categories. I still may be dumb, but I don't think
just
I'm
not
young
young
and
anymore.
broke. Yeah. Okay, now, I'm just not young anymore. All right. Yeah, well, anywho.
You get one up on me over here.
You go to somewhere, you buy the $100 set of pots and pans. It's got some nonstick
You
coating
saved,
all
didn't
over. And,
You saved, didn't you?
I saved what?
To get the $100 set.
No. Oh, yeah, sure. I was probably on a gift registry somewhere. So, anyway, you get that, and then you think you're doing something. Your egg doesn't stick and whatever.
Yeah,
and then the
yeah.
first time you use the wrong utensil, there's a scratch, there's this or that, whatever. So, I enjoy a good cooking show, and then you always see them using stainless steel.
Yep.
And I have a friend of mine who is a hardcore advocate and swears by cast iron.
Uh-huh.
And it took me a while, but I've now graduated to cast iron and stainless steel. They are the premium product.
Oh, they're great. Yeah.
I am convinced that if you're buying stuff with non-stick coating or whatever, that is to A, it's economical. B, it feeds
Some of them. If you get high end stuff.
True. Yes.
it's-
This is not a full umbrella,
Yeah.
but it also speaks to our impatience because with the cast iron and the stainless steel, you've got to allow it to come to temperature.
Uh-huh.
You have to be patient or at least prepare, that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
And because I've got my little copper clad whatever, but that the slice of cheese won't even stick in, right? And that's the only skillet I use for my eggs. Like I will not cook an egg, and it just slip right on the plate, and there we go.
Slicker and West.
But everything that's disgusting.
Not as bad as what I was going to say.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Try to keep it PG-13.
Try. Yeah. Every once in a while.
So, but with the stainless, I've really grown to an affection for that. But I'm starting to really grasp the cast iron.
Cast iron is I love cast iron.
Yeah,
It heats evenly.
right,
But again, you got to be patient. It's got to get up to temperature.
right,
Right.
right.
I think you season it right and it maintains. It adds some flavor to it every time you cook in it. Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Because I remember when I was younger, Mom had a cast iron, and that cast iron had one purpose and one purpose only, and all it did was cornbread. Nothing else. And she allowed us to take that cast iron camping one time. And a good friend of mine, who I will not name, you know how you've gone camping.
Yeah.
You know, when you get done camping, you're breaking down camp. What is the priority?
What's the priority?
Yeah. I mean, most people don't take the time to re-roll the tent and do this and repack. Everybody's just like, put it in the back of the truck. We'll get it when we get home.
Yeah, I mean, to get out of there is the priority.
Get it. Exactly. Yeah. Friend takes mom's cast iron and chunks it in the cooler. And it's like, we'll get to it when we get home. And it sat there for a couple days. And we pull it out, and it was the color of just like top to bottom rust. I thought my mom was going to kill this man. Like she was like, "What have you done to my pot or my skillet?" And we didn't know. We're dumb, and we're 17. Who knew? Like,
fix it.
And it was fixed, but it took time. It takes that
time.
was years of flavor gone, right? And that kind of thing.
Yeah, you got to scrub it down.
So when I get older,
Yeah.
I have a cast iron. It's only for cornbread. And then I was like, there's got to be more uses than just cornbread.
Did you let this friend take it anywhere?
No. I also went the cheap route. I got like a $30.
Does this friend happen to live in Florida?
No. No, it's not, Scott.
Okay. All right.
But no, this friend.
You weren't going to call Spanky out, but I was going to call him out.
I called Scott out. This friend is a local businessman here, and so just to kind of keep from ruffling feathers, but
same one you want on the show?
No,
Oh,
different
okay.
one, but he'd be a great guest on the show.
Let's get him.
He's got an extensive background.
Let's get him booked.
He started out in construction,
Okay.
moves to Texas for a little while, gets in the bodybuilding world,
Okay.
and somehow 2 or 3, 4 moves later, wanders back into Murfreesboro and now is operating a restoration construction service. And I was like, how did you anyway, kind of cool. But anyway, he'd be a great guest.
Okay.
It's, but yeah, cast iron, I'm starting to lean that way. I also did not know that the world of cast iron was, as expansive as it is.
Yeah.
I got a friend that's got $300 skillet. And I'm like, no, that ain't me. But he did make a mean Chicago-style deep dish pizza in it.
So one of the things,
And it looks right.
One of the things that people don't quite understand about cooking and food in general is you can have all the skills in the world, but if you don't have the right equipment,
Right.
it's going to take you longer. It's going to be harder to do. Like I talk about it about knives all the time. Trimming a brisket with a dull knife or a cheap knife
Right.
sucks. Like it sucks. It's
Yeah.
bad. Like the knife I use to trim brisket with is a $150 knife,
Sure.
and it's 6 inches long.
And there's some
I mean,
places.
it's that.
Right. And there's some markets where that's the cheap knife.
Yeah.
So I mean that's not like
the
wild.
knife I want, I think $229 or something like
Yeah.
that. I might have to get it for my Christmas present.
I've seen you can go to some of these local art shows, and these dudes are custom making knives, and I'm assuming they hold an edge the way I think it should. It looks glorious, but man, every time I flip over that little price tag, I'm like, yeah, it's a cool knife, but I'm gonna have to leave it here with you. So
The thing, I look at knives like more of an investment than I
Yes.
do
a cost.
a cost. It's the same thing with pans and stuff in the
Cookware.
restaurant, right? Cookware, yeah. It's smokers,
Right.
particular equipment that you buy. It's the same thing. Like you can buy cheaper equipment, sure, and it might quote unquote work,
Right.
but it's not gonna make your job easier.
Right.
The equipment that you use, whether it's utensils or pans or cookware or whatever you want to call it, equipment, the nicer doesn't, or the most expensive doesn't always equate to the best.
Sure.
But the quality, the higher the quality that you get, the better it'll be.
Right.
In the long run.
Right.
Right. I mean, if you go spend, $700-800 on a cheap smoker somewhere, and then you go spend a couple of grand on one, well, the one that you spent a couple of $1,000s on that was handmade by somebody that is a master welder, well, it's probably going to be a much better piece of equipment, last you longer, cook even, make better food, etc.
Always.
Why are you laughing?
You
can't laugh at me and
when
not
I
tell
started
me.
smoking meat, I've told you this before. When I started smoking meat, that my first smoker was a Facebook special, and it was like $25 and $15 worth of spray paint, and you sand it all down and just paint it high heat black, and there we go.
I got a story for you about smokers.
By the way, I still have that smoker, and it's my preferred smoker. Like my little $40 offset, like it just, and part of it's my familiarity with it. I will say that, like that's.
I'm not knocking anybody's smoker.
Oh, I know.
I am knocking someone's smoker when I tell you this story. So I get a phone call. Bless his heart. I get a phone call and he says to me, he says, "Hey, I smoked a turkey, and it just didn't really have a lot of smoke flavor to it. What do you think I did wrong?" So my first question to him was, well, what temperature did you cook it at? Oh, well, I did it hot and fast. Okay. Like what temperature? Like, 325. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Hot and fast.
Yeah. And then my second question was, did you spatchcock it? Yeah. Okay, so it cooked even faster.
Right.
Okay. So, and then we got to talking about it, and they cooked the turkey on a Weber grill.
Like a 2-zone grilling method.
Right. And wanted to know why it didn't have any smoke flavor.
Yeah, well, there'd be your reason why. So,
cheers.
that's not the intended purpose.
If you're gonna smoke something, smoke it.
Smoke it. That's right.
On a smoker.
On a smoker. That's it.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the episode? I don't know what it is. I saw a clip of it today. Gordon Ramsay's down in Texas, and the first time he eats a big Texas plate of barbecue, and he looks back, and you can see all the pits are just going across here. And I forget the lady's name. She's 84 years old. She's still rocking it. They serve like 300 pounds of meat a day. She touches about 250 of it because she doesn't deal with the hot dogs or whatever, And
you talking about Snows?
Maybe. I have no idea. But when he turns around, he goes, "Where do you get all these I think he calls them machines, whatever he calls them." He goes, "Oh, I built them." And you could tell Gordon Ramsay was not prepared for that answer. Like it blew him away. And then he goes back there and Miss Betty or whatever her name is just rocking. Mm-hmm. And he was like, he was in awe because that was completely different than his fine dining and all that stuff. And one of his little guys that's with him is like, what is on this? The guy's like, salt and pepper. And that's all we do. And he goes, we smother everything with so much sauce in the UK that that they don't get the meat side. And over here, we're all about the beef or the whatever the cut of the meat is. And so it was just funny.
He's got a video on YouTube on how to cook a brisket at home in the oven. And
who's got that video?
Gordon Ramsay.
In the oven?
Yeah, he's got a whole recipe.
That would hurt me.
So, a friend made it, followed his recipe.
Somebody's got a bottle of liquid smoke on the counter in there.
He said it wasn't even edible. It was disgusting.
I don't see how it would be. I mean, it'd have to be.
It just tastes like roast beef.
Yeah,
because that's what it is.
That's what it is. Roast beef.
Yeah.
Just
a big ass brisket just cooked to shit.
Oh
yeah,
man.
But that's the thing. Like people don't understand the time and the effort that goes into learning how to cook a brisket.
Right.
My pit guy at the restaurant. I'm teaching him how to do all of it, and he makes fun of me all the time because he hands me the thermometer, and I'm like, "What are you giving me? What I need the thermometer for?"
I love my thermometer, but I don't do many of them.
We cook a few briskets,
right? Yeah, every now and then.
And I had 90 pounds of brisket sold by 3:00 today.
Holy cow!
So, yeah, we cook a few briskets. Needless to say, I'm going to sleep good tonight.
Right? Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You still slice them all?
Lunch.
You got somebody in the back doing that?
I have somebody do it all.
Okay.
Yeah. We're getting to where the team's getting pretty good.
It's
So
when you watch somebody that slices brisket, who knows what they're doing, and it's
pretty cool.
Man, it's real cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, it's when we have large catering orders, I do all the slicing.
Sure.
Just because I can do it a lot faster than everybody else, and it's kind of funny at this point because I'll have 3 or 4 people standing around watching.
Right, it's impressive. Like it's a show.
It's fun.
I'm surprised there's not a competition somewhere on brisket slicing and just of the parts.
We can make one.
I'm sure you could. I'd watch.
Who can slice a whole brisket the fastest? I'm in.
I'm watching. That's all I'm doing.
I'll use a knife. Won't even use a chainsaw.
How often do you sharpen your knives?
About every 2 days.
Okay.
3 days. They're one of my knives dull is most people's sharp knives.
Sure.
It's funny because my team's really spoiled. Because I can get a blade pretty like razor sharp.
Yeah.
Like I mean it's straight razor sharp.
Right.
It's crazy. And they're so spoiled. After about 2 or 3 days, they're like, "Hey, Charlie, this thing."
You keep a rotation of knives?
No, I just buy nice knives.
I'd get a rotation. Always keep one sharp. That, in my mind, that's what I would do. I mean, I don't own a restaurant.
We keep 3 knives on our cutting board.
Okay.
There's a breaker knife for ribs and things with bones, which it's a really, really nice knife. I can sharpen that one probably once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's a beast of a knife. Probably one of my top 2 knives that I have. Then I have a slicer, and it's a really good knife, but we slice so much that I'm sharpening it probably. It needs to be sharpened probably every 3 days.
Yeah.
So twice a week. But like days like today where you slice 90 pounds of brisket and God knows how much turkey we sliced today. I mean, holy, yeah, insane.
Did a little bit, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. I had beaten last year's sales by 130.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah. It was a pretty
good for you.
Pretty fucking cool day.
And then you get to tomorrow off.
I get tomorrow and Friday off.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Banker's hours.
Daddy gonna get some rest. Yeah, buddy. I'm excited.
Saturday morning, though. Look out.
Oh, I can only wait.
I'm going to potentially get a little emotional on you here. You've got boys.
Mm-hmm.
Your oldest is how old?
18.
18. Mine's 20. And he and I have had some really good talks over the past few days, just where he's at in life, just different things, whatever. And he spoke to me, and he said something to me that literally, it caught me off guard. I have always made sure to tell all my kids that I'm proud of them, because genuinely I am. And the other night, he was just in his emotions about things, completely warranted. I'm not saying he was overreacting. It was his moment. And he looks at me, and just for a second, he was trying to just kind of tap into that innermost part. He said, "You're always telling me you're proud of me, but you don't tell me what you're proud of." And that was the biggest kick in the balls, man. Because that generic, I'm proud of you, and that's what I put in the notes tonight. I was like general versus specific. That generic, I'm proud of you, that generic encouragement. Hey, go do your best. Hey, it's good. It has its place.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to speak to us dads, though, for a moment of just that need for to be specific. That need to be call out the point. And over the past 2 or 3 days, I've really tried to not look. I don't want to be that guy that's like looking for you got to bed on time. Good for you. Proud of you. I'm talking about like the specifics of here's life's curveball. And what he did, he had a little bit of a situation come up that would have typically caused him to be just have a moment of just kind of letting the emotions out. You're thinking a little bit irrationally. You're just responding to the emotion, not to the circumstance, whatever. And for a moment, he reined it in, responded in a almost completely different way. And it came full circle for him because the outcome he was hoping for happened. And then he could feel that elation and that joy and that just like the stress just, like it literally almost, I like watched it just wash off of him. And I went back to the beginning and I told him how proud I was of him for responding different than what he had typically done. And so I'm taking a moment to speak to the dads here, and especially with the holidays, because the holidays are stressful on everybody. I saw a joke that said, avoid a trip to the ER. Go ahead and take your whatever, your anxiety medicine beforehand. And I thought that was pretty.
Yeah.
I don't struggle with that, but I know plenty of people that do. And I was like,
yeah. Cheers.
You may go ahead and, but as dads, we have a lot more power than we realize.
Oh, yeah.
And I've tried to be aware of that in the past few days, but to speak those specifics, hey, I'm proud of you because of this. Mm-hmm. And he has literally been almost a different person for 4 or 5 days now.
That's incredible.
And then today, the world was trying to step on his toes a little bit, and he let the emotion out. And I just kind of looked at him, and he kind of gathered himself. He's like, no, we're going to be good. And he kind of had to, and I texted him right before I came in here, and I was like, just, XYZ plans tonight, whatever. And he shoots me a quick text. And the thing that, and I try not to over tell my kids, I'm not the guy at the end of every text, love you, just because I don't want to say it just for the sake of saying it. I want to be specific. And I left it out. And then he came back, love you, Dad. And I was like, oh man, like, I'm sitting here reading it now and I'm about to do it again. So we wound up, we're on the phone with each other. And I started getting teared up.
Yeah.
And the problem was, I can feel it coming back. As I started tearing up, I could hear him on the other end. I was like, you can't tear up too, because we're going to be a mess. Keep in mind, we're driving through Nashville at this point because we had went and picked up a vehicle. And I'm like, we're going to lose it right here on 24-65 split. Like, it's like wrong time.
Yeah.
And so it was, but man, it was one of those things where it was a dad moment. And I've got all my screw ups as a dad. And I can tell you more of those than I can my wins.
Oh, yeah.
But just encourage your kids. But as a dad, encourage your sons. And you've got 3. I've only got the 1.
It's funny. I've been thinking a lot lately about how life in general, we get up and no matter how driven you are to succeed or to achieve something or a goal or whatever it is, we get put into, or we put ourselves into just the monotonous day in and day out, do the exact same thing, just rut, right? And to a point to where I started thinking about it, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, especially while I was down and out, was how even as ambitious as I am and how big I dream, what kind of purpose I have behind what I do every day. And being specific of, hey, if I accomplish A, B, and C today, then tomorrow X, Y, and Z is going to be so much easier. Right. Or it's going to make me better, or it's going to help the restaurant, or it's going to help the family, or whatever it may be. And I find so often that we're not as detailed as we are or should be in what we do, and things like, hey, I'm proud of you, son,
Right.
is important, and you're really trying to make sure that your kids know that you love them and you're proud of them and you want them. But like you just said, it's not specific enough.
Right.
because it just becomes a "I love you, son" at the end of a text,
right?
Every single time,
right?
Versus, hey, I'm super proud of you for reacting this particular way and looking at it from both angles, and that's incredible. Continue growing as an individual and as human, as a man. Super proud of that.
And I'm gonna give you a word of caution here with your oldest being 18. 18 to 20, there's a lot that happens.
Man, it's already begun.
And today, I was reminded he's just 20. And man, you talk about just like the being in the high beams, right? You're like, ooh, he's just 20.
Yeah.
Like, because you think, he's moved out on his own. He's done this. He's got his full-time job. He's doing the XYZ, he's just 20. So then if I put that in perspective, he's doing great for 20. Take that step back and realize where he's at.
Look, I got a check the other day. I sent him a message saying, "Hey, we're going to do this, this, and this for the holidays," and I was like, "Hey, if when are you going to be here? This, that, and the other." And he was like, "Oh, I got to work. We do this every year. You didn't think about requesting off?" It's a non-negotiable,
right,
son. Like it's not a. I'm not asking.
Right.
Oh, I mean, I'll be back on this day. Okay. All right. I got you. Okay.
It's weird because my daughter's got her first real shindig of a job, and it's not like babysitting, 3 or 4 hours here and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
She's on a schedule. They're taking out taxes, that kind of thing.
Right.
So 3 weeks ago, hey, we need to be able to request days off. What's Thanksgiving plans? And I was like, look at you planning ahead. It was awesome. I didn't have an answer for her because I was like, hadn't checked with everybody yet. I know what we typically do.
And that is is a son and a daughter.
That's it. That's all 100%.
Right there.
That's
just
it.
Nailed it.
Everybody knows now. So, golly.
Yeah. I got to work, Dad.
I got to work. Well, we've been doing
What's
this since you was 12, or older and longer than that, probably. Mac or beans today. And I feel like I know your answer here, but I know what mine is for sure. Obviously, I know my answer. Vacation or staycation?
So mine's a vacation. Because it doesn't matter whether I'm home or not. If I'm at home,
you're on call.
I'm going to be in and around my restaurant.
Right.
Right. So for me, I have to get away.
Right.
Even we're getting ready to go to Florida here in a couple weeks for baseball.
Yeah.
And even just the 3 days that I'm going to be gone will be like a vacation.
Right.
Because I'm not going to be in the state.
Right.
So the only thing I can do is talk on the phone.
Right.
Right. I can't go to the restaurant.
Right.
Right. Something happens. I have to be able to solve it on the phone. If not, then it ain't going to get solved till I get back. So if I'm at home, prime example is we had an issue last night. I had left. I've been at home for an hour or so, and we had an issue. They called like they should have. They did everything right, but I couldn't solve it on the phone.
Right.
So I had to go up there.
Right.
So the resolution was me leaving my house and going to the restaurant to fix it versus being able to walk them through it over the phone.
Right. And I figured that was very much going to be your answer because there's no such thing as a staycation for you.
No.
If you're within 2 hours of the restaurant, well, I'll be there. I'll be there as quick as I can.
Yep.
That's your answer. And so I figured that was the case. Yeah. I figure even as big as Tennessee is east to west, if you're within the border of the state somewhere, you're probably telling them I'll be there in 3 hours.
Now, what I will tell you is there's not much more relaxing to me than sitting on my porch with a fire and a glass of bourbon,
right,
and just not doing anything.
Right.
That's just as relaxing, even if it's for an hour or two.
Right.
Comparative to going to Pigeon Forge or going to Florida or going somewhere for X amount of days.
And that's why, for me, it is the staycation. because I have that ability, that freedom, if you will. I'm not on call or something. It's as simple as me as text a few folks, family. Hey, I'm at the house. I'm going to be at the house. I'm not answering my phone. And you set that down and you're just doing the local stuff, right? Yeah. And you kind of not exist in the world. And so I love that. I love the stress that it doesn't induce in me. Yeah, I love traveling. I love going to see other spots. I'm not a traveler. Does that make sense? My brother, on the other hand, sign him up. He and my sister-in-law have been all over this world, literally, and they do phenomenal at it. I'm like, I'd go to Gatlinburg with y'all. It's like, by the way, I saw a thing today. My mom was raised Baptist. My whole family on that side of the family has been involved in a Baptist church somewhere. I saw the funniest thing. It said, Pigeon Forge is just Las Vegas for the Baptists. And I'm talking about, I absolutely lost it. And I told that to my mother, and she just, like, the look on her face, because that was a real statement, right? I was like, gotcha, Mom. Like, that was the real thing. So,
outstanding.
Oh, me. All right, I had episode 58. There's no good 58s. There was one. I say there's none. There was one. But 58. What?
So
I got one.
You got one?
Derek
Thomas.
No, Thomas Mother effing Davis. Goatee.
Who's that?
Linebacker for the Panthers. All time. Tore his ACL 3 times. Came back 3 times. Absolute legend in Carolina. Thomas Davis forever and ever, amen.
That NC State Wolfpack shirt showing through on the microphones there. So, I knew Derek Thomas.
If Trent has one downfall, it's got to be this Carolina thing.
Man, hey, we got a lot of history.
Hang on, I'll take a step back on that.
Derek Thomas.
Carolina fans, whether it's NC State or if it's Baby Blue, they are the most. They know their sport.
Oh, yeah.
They know their history. They know their thing. And
it's okay for me to disagree with him.
But they will almost annoy you with it.
Hey, I'm sorry. I can't help it.
No, you can't help it. It comes natural. I think it's part of being from North Carolina. And then when you root for him, it makes it worse.
The moment he stops doing it, I'm going to be upset.
You missed one.
Yeah.
All right, sharing a recipe. I told you that. I don't know if you brought a recipe. I've got one right off the top of my head, and I'm going to share it. I'm going to give out.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Shoot.
So I mentioned it actually earlier. My cornbread.
Yep.
I've never entered it in the state fair or a local fair or whatever. I would love to. I think I could actually, and maybe it's just because I'm that partial to it.
Okay.
But I'm going to put it out there for the whole world to try. And there's some specifics there, because if you miss a step, like, I'm weird about it, all right?
Okay.
And there's one I can't tell you, okay? So
then you're not sharing a recipe.
I can't definitively answer it. I'll get there. Hang on, all right? So you've got your cast iron skillet. Yep. Mine's a 10-inch. It's 2 inches deep.
Okay.
Whole stick of butter. Put it in a cold oven. Set the oven for 410 degrees. It's there. It's getting hot. It's coming to temperature. In your mixing bowl is 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of white self-rising cornmeal, 2 eggs, and buttermilk. Now, before you say what buttermilk, he's got Thomas. We're going to have to watch a Thomas Davis highlight right here, because he interrupted my recipe.
Okay, keep going.
The buttermilk, you just have to pour until the consistency is
I'll wait.
Carolina guys.
I'll wait.
You pour it till it's kind of the consistency of a thin stew. That's the best. I don't ever measure my buttermilk. I just pour till it's right. About this time, your oven's going to go off. The butter has melted. Your pan is to temperature. You pour it into the pan, the entire mixture, and then you put it back in the oven 20 minutes exactly. It's perfect every time.
So your batter is like.
Did I mention the 2 eggs? I don't know if I did or not. Okay.
So your batter is like a a gravy consistency.
Yes, slightly thin pancake
like
batter.
a turkey gravy.
Yeah, where it's got a little oomph to it, a little hold.
Yeah.
Like I should be able to pick it up. It'll drip off the spoon, but that last little part will kind of hold there.
Okay.
All right. and I'm telling you,
How much flour again?
a cup of self-rising flour, a cup of white self-rising
So
cornmeal.
2 cups total.
2 cups total.
So you're probably
2
like,
eggs.
You're probably like a cup to a cup and a
Cup and a
half
half
of buttermilk.
ish.
Okay.
Ballparkish. And I used to make my fun of my mom. Give me
So
the
why
measurements.
don't you measure the buttermilk out?
Because it looks right. I don't know. I mean, how do you measure
science.
it looks right?
That's science.
So get a 3-cup measuring cup.
just
Pour till it looks
And then
right.
pour
Look what I
until
got
it looks
left.
right and see what you got left.
you
I'll
got,
update next week.
you
But
got way too logical.
It's a cup and a half.
It's way too logical, Charlie. Come on, man.
it would work.
Look, this is my red, white, and logic kind of
Yes,
thinking.
I know, and I love it. So, but I'm telling you right now, if you've got a cast iron skillet, that right there, it is the recipe. It is perfection. It is just
Your cornbread recipe is kind of like my brisket recipe.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just
I mean, when you know it,
it's-
you know.
it's-
When you know.
It's kind of this way.
Yeah. I mean, and my mom used to, I still don't know my mom's biscuit recipe because of that reason. She can't tell me the measurements. I just do till it looks like this. Thanks, Mom. That doesn't help me none. So I still don't know it. She wrote it down. I tried it one time. I was like, that's not right. And she's like, well, I wasn't there to tell you if it felt right. And I'm like, and I can't argue with that. I mean, I can't.
I do
No,
have,
but that's how most people, especially our elders, cook. They didn't cook with
Measure
measuring
cups. Unless you're baking, there's,
some of them didn't even measure then.
yeah, some of them just knew.
They were just like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, right.
I got
here's
one
the salt.
question. I don't mean to interrupt again.
You're
but I'm
fine.
going to. Have you ever had a cornbread canoe?
Cornbread canoe?
Yeah. I think it was a TikTok thing, but it's like this magical little pan, and they're like they look, I can't say it any other way than a little canoe, but I don't know how it's so perfect all the way
What
through.
do you put in it?
Cornbread. It's like just straight cornbread, but it's magical.
Cornbread canoes.
Like you can have cornbread the regular way, and then you can put it in a cornbread canoe, and those canoes are magical.
Well, that's not giving me a real good.
Like, can you put like chili in the canoe?
I wouldn't recommend. I just know cornbread. Are you looking it up?
If I type in cornbread canoe, I literally get pictures of cornbread and I get pictures of canoes, but I do not get.
You don't get a cornbread canoe.
Like that's.
Hey, I'll shoot you a link.
They're
magical. I never had them. My friend Jamie made them, and it's the best piece of cornbread I've ever had. It's
Cornbread canoes.
Can we let Thomas Davis take us out real quick?
Sure.
Just real quick.
Well, let's see Thomas Davis.
Play. Top 5 plays. Absolute animal. Oh, it's a good thing it's skipping. That's a forced fumble. Oh,
I'll give you this right here. That right there. When a big man scrambles, it's phenomenal.
That was it? Oh, Aaron Rodgers, take a seat, my guy. Oh,
He made it. That was a nice interception.
When was he 57?
I'll give him credit. He's athletic.
I like this glitchy feed.
Oh, that was.
It's over.
Okay. Hey, shout out. He's a great 58.
Well, there you go. I had Derek Thomas and Alfonso Soriano work for a brief moment. Wasn't real strong there. We're getting into the holiday
I
season.
think that's a lesser known individual than
Alfonso Soriano.
Yeah.
You got to be a deep baseball fan to know him. Like that name jumped right out at me.
It was always 12, right?
I think this would have been like early on. He may have been 58.
Who did he play for?
MLB.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but he jumps right out at you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Man, I recognized that name right off the bat. I was like, oh, he's going to be the only one I know. So,
Yeah.
Derek Thomas, Thomas Davis.
Derek Thomas, that was the one I got.
Man, TD was the guy, bro. He was Luke Kuechly's right here.
You North Carolina guys. Luke Kuechly was the only one I knew. Like,
Man.
so, and I think he'd still be playing if it wasn't for every other concussion he had. Jeez Louise,
He
that
only
dude.
had a couple and he took it out. He's smart. I salute to him.
I do too.
It broke my heart. I'm like,
those
I salute to you.
If
Don't
you
wreck
get
your
2 in the
family.
NFL, it is
Just
not
stop.
worth your
Just
longevity
stop.
of life.
No.
I mean, just quit. That's
He
why
wore that little neck thing for a while.
I get nervous about Tua.
Oh, it's terrifying.
Cause like, man, because I was watching that first one.
Like, he's dumb about it too.
That
Tua's
first
a
one he
different
had where he went all chicken fingers on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
bro.
I saw that one live. I was watching. I was like,
too.
that man, his career. And then he comes back. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then it happened a second time. I'm like, please stop.
And
I
another one.
thought Shador Sanders was done this weekend.
Oh, he did. That was an ugly hit. It was.
That was dirty.
It was so dirty.
Straight
it
to
was
the
bad.
knees.
Yep.
Man.
So
Yeah, I thought he was done.
That's not okay.
no, it's not.
I thought he
There's
was done.
levels to a dirty hit. And that is
That was the
dirty.
bottom. That was gross. That was
it
Bush League.
straight
Yeah.
at his knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to end him.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was trying to end him for the day.
Yeah.
You know.
Or maybe longer.
Longer. Yeah.
We're in the holiday season. You mentioned that earlier. Give me some Christmas gift ideas. And that may include a favorite from the past or a current suggestion. And I've got a
Cornbread
current.
canoes.
Well, my favorite gift is going to be a winning lottery ticket.
All right.
That's always fire.
That would be, 196 million right now. I'm just going to say we could get some real promotion of this show.
Yeah, we could. We could get a little traction with that.
know.
So
Somebody would know we exist. For
that's
sure.
right.
No, there's a lot of people who know we exist, but it's golly. I mean, that's hard. So who am I gift for who?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Maybe that you've received. So and it doesn't have to be. I mean, and then it is hard. I didn't put any parameters on it.
Yeah,
Mine become. I'm a sentimental guy. Mine is sentimental gifts. One of my favorite gifts that I've personally have ever received. My son bought a generic cutting board, like very generic. It was 8 by 12, maybe. It wasn't very big. It's got a little handle on it. Mm-hmm. But the part that he did, so this correlates to the other part. My favorite gift that I continuously get or receive, I've asked my mom, I started several years ago, handwrite me recipes. Oh, and so she has started doing that. Every year, I give her 4 or 5 I'd like to get. She'll write them down, and I'm getting a notebook. The caveat to that for me is here in another year or two, once I get a nice collection, I'm going to make a cookbook of my mom's handwritten recipes for my brother and his family and my kids and his kids. And so everybody's going to have grandma's handwritten, recipe.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But my son, he goes, hey, send me one of grandma's recipes. Like, what do you want? He goes, one of the desserts. I was like, cool. So I sent him her peach cobbler recipe. He comes up a few weeks later. I think it was Christmas time. It was either Christmas or my birthday. I don't remember, but I'm 90% sure it was Christmas. He hands me this thing, and that cheap cutting board he had, a buddy of his had one of those laser engraver things, and he put her handwriting on that cutting board. And I'm talking about, I will fight somebody over that, and you better not ever cut on it. It's cheap enough, it'd probably break, right?
Right.
But it hangs above the sink. Like, it is just, and it's there. And I'm a sentimental person on mine. Oh, yeah. And so that's
a good one.
It was fantastic. He doesn't know how good he did on that. I think he was just like trying to get a little something. But I'm throwing that out there. But another one I saw, and this was a little bit extravagant in my world at least. 4-6's Ranch. You know what I'm talking about, out of Texas? Mm-hmm. They've put together a promo, and you can get a Yeti shipped to you full of 8 ribeyes, some of their seasonings, and a 20-ounce Yeti Traveler. For the low price of $650. So I did the math on that. You can get a $250 Yeti and the cup. Let's just be extravagant with the cup. Let's say it's a $50 cup. It's not, but we're going to round up for easy math. That's $350 of steaks for 8 steaks. And I was like, that's a premium. And it's fine. Cool, because it's got their logo on the Yeti and stuff. It's, it's done up.
I love Derry math.
Hang on.
Derry math and logic.
Dairy math is logic is strong and it's poor at the same time. But I'm telling you,
I gotta
hang
stop
on.
you.
No,
No, let him finish.
they sold out last year and they're rerunning it this year and their quantities are already running low.
So they're on to something.
They're on to something. I'm just saying you could go get you an Arctic cooler, shove it full of some single tree brisket, and ship it to somebody. Slap a sticker on the top.
We'll do it for $500.
We'll do it for $49.99. I don't know how many 99s we just put in there, but enough. And I'm telling you,
We'll
dude.
sell out. Charlie, we're on to something. There you see.
Come out with
marketing
finger guns. Like we're gone. That's it. You put lasers up right there.
So let me get this right. If I win the lottery tonight,
Yep.
you want a Yeti cooler with a whole bunch of ribeyes in it.
Nope.
No?
I would be. I'm the
You would
kind of
be
guy.
ecstatic.
It would be. Oh, I would go nuts, and then I'd probably punch you. Like, why'd you buy this for me? You want a steak though? I'll cook them up. Like that's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you enjoy part of the gift you gave me. Right? I'd be that guy. So
Thanks. I appreciate you.
But don't do that. So
No, don't do that.
don't. But it was comical to me. I saw that and I was like, man, they're just because some people
Hang on,
just
do the
don't.
math on that. $350 for 8 steaks.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, you did it. Yeah, you looking at it right.
Okay.
The answer is no.
That's
Can you
The
get
answer is
can you
no.
get 8 tomahawks for $350?
man. Surely,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
I would think so.
He said yes with a
You
mercy.
sure can.
I don't
Surely.
know. I don't know
So
the ticket.
$350, I will get you an entire prime ribeye loin, and we'll have the best prime rib you've ever had.
right.
Yeah.
I did.
$350
And you'll
for
be able
8
to
steaks.
and you'll be able to eat it for weeks.
And feed more than 8 people. Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So, I saw. Speaking of prime rib, people were talking about the cost of Thanksgiving meals this year, and apparently there was a high-level politician who said it's only like $58 a meal, and everybody went crazy. Like, you mean per plate? You know, this, whatever. The comments went wild as they do. Scroll
wild
down
thing to
a little
say.
bit, and one guy goes, "My prime rib alone costs $400," and I was like, "I don't think he's talking about you."
No, he's not. No.
But it was good.
Jesus.
It was really good.
My prime rib's 400 alone.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, primo, baby.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, it was comical.
Comical.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got anything else, man?
I got all kinds of things.
I
But
feel like we've done it for this one.
my last question is the lottery's on my brain for some reason.
Yeah, sure
I don't
it
know
is.
Hey,
why.
go get us some tickets, bro.
I don't know why it is, but it's
is
been
it up right now?
It's 196 million. That's
Okay,
what
so-
it is, right? So at the end of the day, you net about 100 million
Yeah,
ish.
I can work with
I
that.
could
All right.
definitely make that work.
So yeah, we could get down. I'd probably take a couple of days off.
Yeah.
At least Monday.
At least so you're close.
I'd speak my mind and be like, come here, we're going to fire you. Be like, okay.
You're in luck.
Like, quite honestly, nobody in this room would work.
Yeah, right.
Hell
I tell you right now, no. I mean, yeah.
We would work. We would do this every Monday,
I have a lot of fun.
all
with
right,
it.
from 11 to 12. It would just
Have
be the three of
greatest
us.
set of all time.
We would DoorDash every week.
11 to 12?
It might be 11 to 1.
Can we do 12 to 1? Yeah, 1 to 2?
Yeah, something like, well, that's fine. Whatever. We'll figure out the time.
We're flexible.
Okay. I mean, let
We
me
got
sleep
$100 million.
in, gosh.
We got
Whatever.
$100
I want
million.
to cook breakfast. Like, let me. You got me here at 11.
Might swing by Brother
Charlie
Englewood.
slave driving again, and I can't question it because you funded the deal. So like, I guess we better show up.
Whatever. Okay.
$1 million a month podcast budget. Yes. I've been dreaming of this my whole life.
Yeah. Studio would definitely have some upgrades.
Oh,
It would
man.
be quite the set.
There might be a bar involved.
Yes. Maybe a Taco
But
Bell.
I always think it's fun to dream.
Can we have
about
an
shit
Uber
like-
Dropbox?
Yes.
Like
Whatever.
and it would open up to
Yes.
Trent's desk.
Yes.
They ring a bell and just he opens the.
It's like a bank
dumb
teller
waiter.
thing.
Yeah,
It's just a bank teller thing.
there it is.
My white claws just show
Why
up.
don't we just have a bartender?
Well, I like that.
Just make fresh drinks.
That too.
Get whatever you
Lots of
want.
tequila.
Look, I gotta be. I've only ever won an extra ticket, so I mean,
You gotta.
it needs to be somebody other than me playing.
So you got 100 million.
Yeah.
Okay, cash. That's what you got. 100 million.
You'd never see me again.
What do you, number one, are you telling anybody?
Heck no.
Okay. Can you? I mean, you both of y'all said that pretty emphatically, but can you honestly say
No one.
that you're not
Don't
going
know if
to
I tell my kids.
not going to tell a soul? Like, you know how hard that's going to be?
Challenging, especially when I roll up with 20 acres of land. They're like, how'd you get that?
Very
Been
careful.
saving up.
You
Like,
just you just got 100 million and you only bought 20 acres.
we don't want to show off. So
Smart. That's a pro move.
Look,
25 acres, people are going to ask questions.
they ain't gonna ask me shit because there's gonna be a 20-foot wall around the whole thing.
How'd you get past the fence?
Yeah. Right inside of that's gonna be claymores. You're not gonna be able to get there.
How'd you get past the Dobermans is what I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, so but for real, you got 100 million. Okay, you're not gonna tell nobody. All right, so you don't tell anybody. What's the first thing you're doing? Are you like you quit your job because you're not telling anybody? So if you don't tell anybody, and all of a sudden you're like, "Hey, I know it's December 2nd, but yeah, I'm not coming back to work."
so I finished.
There's going to be questions.
I finished my school year for sure.
Guaranteed, you're going to finish the school year.
100%.
That's smart. That's a pro move.
You don't want to don't want to draw, too many eyes at you. Why are you quitting in the middle of the year? That kind of thing. And it helps that I enjoy what I do. I wouldn't actually feel like, and like I said, if they don't like what I did and somebody wants to raise hell, be like, okay, see me out the door. Not like, I'm talking about like if somebody just really wanted to quit. I make it sound like I do stuff in my classroom that I'm not allowed to do. That's not the case. But you get my point.
You rogue agent, you.
No, but I mean, I'd probably be a little bit more loose with the opinions. So, but you get my point.
I could buy this school.
Right. Yeah. I could build this school again and again. So, anyway, speaking of those opinions.
Yeah.
We need more high schools.
Yeah.
So, but
We need more high schools.
I would finish out my school year for sure.
Okay.
And then I am doing, obviously, one of the first things I'm doing, I'm setting up something hopefully to either A, live off the interest,
100%.
or B, I may take care of a few things.
I mean, a simple basic, 100 million, a simple basic savings account is 3%.
Right. I mean, I'm going to make sure life is set.
That's what, 300,000?
Yes, 300,000. I'm going to get where I can take care of life because I don't need the extravagancies. I don't want the extravagancies. I will say this: I will have a 1972 Chevrolet pickup.
Hell yeah.
That's
badass.
I love you.
I'm just saying.
I do. I really do love you. But if you're earning $300,000 a year in interest and not touching your principal at all, you can't tell me that you're not going to have some lavish things.
I would have some lavish things. What my
it's
point
like me,
is,
like my number one lavish thing would literally be like a 20, 30-foot brick wall around my entire property.
Right. I don't know what my fully
maybe
lavish
not brick,
thing is.
but like that big of a fence where you can't see through it.
But like I know that vehicle. I know exactly what I would want. I would have some things. I'm talking about. I'm not going to have.
You don't need a gold shitter.
A $10,000 fuel bill every month like Shaq does. Like I don't need to. I'm not going to have a posse that I have to pay all their stuff. And
I don't need friends.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm not going to have a gold chair. Right. I'm not going to have my toothbrush. Walk up to my face for me and do the full facial massage or something weird. I don't know.
Yeah, just once a month.
Right. So,
That's the once a month.
But I would enjoy my life though, 100%.
Yeah.
But you're
20, not 25 acres.
Right.
I'd be
Don't be extravagant.
Don't be extravagant.
Globe trotting like a mug. See anything.
And I would possibly become that guy.
I don't think I would be. I know I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be like go buy a Learjet kind of guy. Like that wouldn't.
But I'm not flying coach either.
No. No.
They would be chartered flights.
No, I don't even know if I'd fly unless it was like going to.
I'd go see Scotland.
That's what I'm saying. Like unless we're going overseas, I wouldn't fly. I'd have a big coach bus.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and then I'd pay somebody to drive it.
Right.
Because you're not going to spend as much money as you would flying somewhere.
Right.
And I would enjoy, like, me and my wife just hopping in the bus and going wherever we wanted to go.
If you've got single tree written on the side of the bus, is that a tax write-off?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because wherever I go, I would look at real estate to put another single tree.
Right.
There you go.
And you're advertising.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And the only single tree.
That's a business expense. The whole thing.
There would be one more single tree. And then past that would be the end of my involvement outside of founder, and somebody else would run the company for me and just report back to me once a month.
That's fire.
It's not a bad gig.
That would be to me that would be go like first thing I would do is develop a plan to have someone else. I would build a new location my dream restaurant. Hire the people to run it, hire a CEO, all the people to run the company, and then I'm not buying 20 acres. I'm buying 200 because I literally want my house in the middle of woods,
right,
where nobody can see me.
Yeah,
big fence, you can't get in. You know, literally. I mean, 20 feet, electrified, the whole night. Don't come see me unannounced.
Charlie's got a moat filled with gators and
Moats.
sharks.
Oh yeah, all the things.
A moat. He's got a dragon.
That's right.
Yeah, I want fireplaces everywhere, and I like 10 roofs so I can sit out in the rain and hear the rain and my fire going and enjoy life.
If I get $100 million, I'm going to do real well because I'm just going to go visit Charlie and save my money. That's what I'm going to do.
That's all you got to do. Yeah, because like to me that would be.
He said no friends though.
That's
no new friends.
Jeez,
No
you
new
did.
friends.
New friends.
Okay,
I'm
there
not
you go.
I'm not trying to. I don't need the people. Like I don't think I would tell anybody either.
Yeah.
But you would know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there'd be signs.
Like
There'd be signs. 100%.
Well, not even
all
like
those memes.
I wouldn't go out and be publicly getting on the news and be like, "Ooh, look at me!" Right? But when I walked in here next Wednesday and sat down with y'all, I'd say, "Hey, we're not recording today.
Hey, Trent, here's your briefcase.
Here's what session
here.
we're going to do today, and we're going to talk about what our plans are."
Sub is what I'm doing. I'm going to need somebody next week.
Like we would grow. That was we just talked about what I do with Single Tree, not Single Tree Nation.
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go.
Single Tree Nation's a whole other part of the process
there you
too.
go.
So this
Somebody get Charlie $100 million.
Yeah, we would have a lot of fun.
Yes, we would.
Yeah, I would like to not just take that 100 million and figure out how to live off the interest. I would want to be able to take that and figure out how my great grandkids wouldn't have to work.
100%.
Like that.
No,
To me, that's the dream.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right? Like I've gotten to the point to where in my life, it's not about what possessions I can get. It's what I can give my kids. And I want to leave some sort of large legacy of an impact that we made in this world while we were here. But how can they take it and continue that on? Right. We talk about being the Nike of barbecue all the time. And I really want to, if you really think about how big of an impact Nike has made on the world, why can't we do that same thing?
Right.
So let's figure it out.
Okay.
Love it, man.
That's what I want to do with 100 million.
Take us out, bro.
Friday Feel Good?
Make it happen.
All right. Guys, this week's Friday Feel Good is be patient with yourself. There are so many things that you can control, but there are so many things that you cannot control. And as long as you're doing your part, be patient about letting those other things come full circle, come back to you, and you take care of winning the day for yourself. Y'all know what to do. Find somebody you know. Tell you love them.
Guys, killer episode tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, I'm your man, Charlie, our illustrious co-host, Mr. Derry Wells. If you guys want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me. You can get me through email at charlie@singletreebbq.com. Call me at 615-307-0120. And as always, guys, until next time, we'll see you then.
Y'all be good.
Thanks for joining us today. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, leave us a 5-star review and come see us at the restaurant.